Yeah, hello cherry lovers on this spring January day. Well, it's not spring, it's still winter, but we have a very mild day. The sun is shining and I can't ask for more. And out here under the high tunnel checking things out. I got some things that I wanted to look over on the trees, because you periodically have to come out here and look at stuff to make sure the trees are still doing good, and then they're growing the way I need to have them grow and through the winter. So there's a few cherry lovers out there that like my informational videos on training trees and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of give you a informational video here on what to look for, and if you're going to stay organic, what you have to do to stay organic to be able to say that you're organic. So here's what we're going to do, and I hope you guys like this one. So here we go. Okay, first of all, as you look down here on the trees, one of my cherry lovers asked me a question about why didn't I wrap my trees up, because you could get mice, voles, I guess they call them. I don't think we have them up here, but mice or rabbits chew on them on a hard winter. The last couple winters I haven't had any problems with them. I've thought about that to wrap them and everything, but there's a few videos that I watched that a guy wrapped them, and for some reason they got underneath them and chewed the base off on down there. So I decided that I'm going to try not to. We don't have a lot of rabbits, believe it or not, out here in the National Forest beside me here. We don't seem to have a lot of rabbits, and I'm not saying we don't have mice, but we don't have a lot of them. So we've been pretty lucky the last couple of years. So that's why I don't use wraps on there. But one other thing that comes to mind, so I'll tell you guys, a lot of cherry trees or a lot of cherry farms, they take and they spray white up here. It's supposed to protect it from sunburn and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to be organic, you can't put any paint on these trees. Government says no, or the USDA says no, if you're going to one day be certified USDA organic. So what I've done is I'm just, they tell you to just leave them bare, and so far so good. I mean, no enamel paint, no latex paint, no nothing. So I've left them, and so far I haven't seen any signs of sun blister in the wintertime, though that may happen. I haven't seen it, so that's another thing. And then I'm going to show you guys up here on the buds. If you look at these different buds, if I can get close enough to where I can get a zoom in here on these buds. Well, it's not going to let me zoom into it. You have to every now and then pop one of them buds off and make sure they're green, because if they're not, there's something going on. So, and it won't let me, believe it or not, it won't let me. I'm trying. It won't let me focus. There it is. That bud right there. See that bud? If they're green, which those are green right there anyways, I like the looks of those. Those are good looking buds. And believe it or not, on a cherry tree, that's what I like to see. Also, right there at that, I don't know what you'd call it, the union where I've cut it and trimmed it off, trimmed it back. On cherry trees, every time you cut, wherever you cut, on them buds, right there, that union, that's where your cluster of cherries are going to be on cherry trees. So that's why they tell you to every year try to trim back 4 inches, about that much of your tree, at the closest bud that's going outward, not downward or upward, and that'll give you an idea how to trim your trees. And that's where you're going to see your clusters of cherries, and that's why you see a lot of these cherry farms are out there pruning them back. It scared me the first time I did it, because if you prune them, it looks like you're going to hurt the trees. But pruning them when they get too long, you want to have every now and then, every year, you want to have clusters going out that branch. And the longer that branch, the longer you take that branch and let it grow and then leave it, and then the next year starts again, that's so far apart. You want to have close clusters with cherries on them. That way that tree produces a lot more cherries when you want them to. I mean, that's what I've been taught and what I've learned over the past few years. But this is some things that I wanted to tell you guys, and I figured, I didn't know if my cherry lovers would want to hear all that informational stuff, but this is what I've learned over the years. This is what I've learned, and so far what I've learned and what I've practiced, it's working. So I just thought I'd let you guys know this. Like I said, there's a lot of things that these trees are doing. I love them. They hopefully will be producing under the high tunnel here this year more than ever. But one thing I want to go over here and show you on this tree over here that I've noticed, I've been wanting it to grow and let it go, is I got a tree, I got a branch. If you look at it, you can see it. It's going all the way up. I was kind of concerned about this tree last year because it looked like it was like really struggling to live. But it took off and it's got a branch here. So I've got to make a determination of where my central leader is on that tree. My central leader I'm looking at, and I'm going to go in close. I'm thinking that this is going to be my central leader. All right. So if that's going to be my central leader, I'm going to keep that branch, but I have to, I don't know, up to that one middle branch right there has to come off. And otherwise you're defeating your purpose. You can't have two central leaders if you're going to have a central leader. You're going to have, I call it a goblet look. Instead of having a central leader, you have a bunch of branches going out and around, then I'm going to have to take the middle out. But most of mine are central leaders. These are central leaders. I'll show you one I got two of them that I've tried to make it I call it the goblet look. I think they call it the UFO growing system. But here's one here. All right, I'm going to have to, and I'm going to step over to show you. But it's got a central look. It has a central leader in it, right there. That has to come out because, as you can see, the way it's growing. Let me back up. It has a bunch of branches that come all the way around, almost like a goblet look. So that central leader has to come out. I'm going to try it that way just to see if the central leader works better or the goblet type leader. Or that's what I call it. I should tell you, look it up and tell you for sure what the real term is, but that's what I call it. And but down here I got another one that's looking really good. And like I said, if you look at this one, it looks like, I got about 4 areas that want to fight for their central leader, and so I'm going to have to take that center one out because I've got it set up to have that. Gives you the goblet shape, and that's got to come out of the middle. I mean, I don't want to take it out of there because, unfortunately, what I see is really, 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 really good, and I'll show you. That right there, as you're looking at the center, that's where all my cherries are going to come to, right there on that one. But unfortunately, that's got to come out of there, and I might wait until after summer to take that out of there to see about getting the cherries that I need. But as far as everything here on the farm, things are looking really, really, really good. I'm out here looking at the different trees. Very impressive with what I'm seeing. This tree here last year got hit by that big tree before the high tunnel went up. That tree, we cut it and it was supposed to go in the other direction. Instead it came this way and it took out that tree right there, but there's rootstock coming up on the side, so we're going to try and graft something onto that. This tree here, the branches, they're the stalk on it, or the trunk. If you look at it, it got hit, but it's recovering really well, and I'm very impressed with what happened. I thought I was going to lose a lot of trees, and boy did they come back. So So I just thought I'd show you a few things that are going on here. And I call it the spring because it's nice out today, but in January. But I'm looking at them buds, and I'm trying to give you guys an idea what them buds are doing. And so far they're starting to peak out and swell a little bit. This is the time of the year that they start swelling, and they're doing really good as far as bud wise. I'm going to keep showing you pictures of the buds, because eventually these buds, you're going to notice when you see them that they're going to, next month they'll swell even more, and by the time the end of February, 1st of March, then they really start to swell, and it ain't long, and won't be long, and then my high tunnel that is over top of these trees, I'll put them down and I'll start warming this up, because once I put all the side curtains down and the doors in March, as long as we have 40-degree days, even though it cools off in the evening at night, underneath here it'll be about 68 to 70 degrees. So it'll start the process of these trees really growing and drawing water, where on the outside they'll still be fairly dormant and for another month. So we're hoping to see cherries out here on these trees sooner, about 3 weeks or to a month sooner than the ones on the outside of the high tunnel. That's what they tell me is going to happen when you plant them under the high tunnel. So it's protecting them, it keeps them from frost. Possibly if I have a frost out there, no frost in here, you'll see less cherries out there than you do in here. So we're gonna, like I said, this is all new. This is new technology. This is new everything for cherries, and I decided that's the way I wanted to go with my farm, because if I went with that way, I can benefit from it, and so can the other people. Yes, it's still organic because we're not putting organic pesticides. Just because we have them under a greenhouse doesn't mean that they're not growing naturally. They're growing naturally. There's, I don't do anything to them. I just help them from those last frosts that come on this side of our state, and it protects them, and that's all I'm doing. So as far as doing any genetically altering them, no, it's not doing that at all. So, but yeah, another thing is I wanted to tell you guys about this greenhouse high tunnel. I'm gonna make another video. I don't know when, but I called and asked the company if I could promote it, and the reason why I'm going to promote it is because this high tunnel and the structure and how I put it up and how easy it took to put it up was wonderful. I mean, it went up with ease, and I'm very proud of it. So I'm going to do an instructional video on that, because I want to tell the people about the company that builds this high tunnel or sells this high tunnel, and it's a very good high tunnel. I mean, I just love it. So anyways, I'll have another video on that down the road, but I do this high tunnel right now, underneath, standing here with the sun, it feels like it's, I don't know, I feel from walking outside it feels 10 degrees. There's no wind, so it feels 10 degrees warmer underneath here. You can feel the heat through that plastic on your face, so it's amazing. So just thought I'd let you guys see what's going on, and it's, like I said, I'm learning a lot. It's all new to me. I've been at this for probably 3 years. We've been at the farm, I don't know, we've been, like it says, 2012. The last 3 years we've really done a big push on it. So just thought I'd let you guys see that we've had other cherry trees starting in 2012. We planted them, and there was no irrigation and nothing like that. We just thought we were going to plant them, and we were going to go to work and make our farm grow and sell them to people, and no effort at all. Well, this farm and these trees, it takes more effort than just planting them and letting them go. As I call them, my wife laughs at me, but I call them my babies. These are my babies, and I baby them. I check on them a lot. I want to make sure that they're growing, and this makes me happy to see what's going on, because I'm doing everything right, and based on what Michigan State University tells me to do, I'm doing it, and it's turning out right. Because under a high tunnel, like I said, it's all new. It's an all new process, and I'm trying to, like I said, breaking ground on cutting edge technology here, and I'm hoping, yeah, really hoping, praying that this works out. But from the looks of things are really turning out. One other question that somebody asked me is, how often am I going to have to trim these trees? Well, on the sides here, we got about 10 foot, all right? In the middle, it's 14 foot. So on these outer trees, I'm going to keep them just to the top of the plastic and keep them trimmed back. Yeah, one day, if you guys keep watching, these rows here, the branches are almost going to touch each other, because they're going to, if it's going to fill out in the next few years pretty good here. So, but the center ones, I'm going to kind of let them go up just a little bit higher. My goal is to try and pick strictly, as you can see as I walk up here, I can walk up right up to them and pick right from the ground. That's my goal. You can pick all the cherries you want right here from the ground and never have to really get on a ladder, except maybe to the tip top. So, and yes, one other question was, how are you going to keep the birds? Well, the birds, once you get to high tunnel like this, you may have a few birds that'll come in here, but there won't be a lot of birds, because birds don't like to come in here. I know a lot of people said something about, oh, they come into barns. Yes, they do. They come into barns, but this barn is clear on the roof, so it keeps them, I don't know, it doesn't. They tell me that the birds will stay out of here, so we'll see. But a lot of farms, cherry farms, lose probably 50% to birds. I'm supposed to be able to reduce that by almost to none. So we're gonna see. But like I said, this is just a few questions that I wanted to answer to people, and figured I'd get out here today because it's a nice day and check the trees over. So as you can see, I got a few things that I see that I didn't see last year that need to be trimmed. As you can see, that tree right there, see two branches that are rubbing? That one has to come out of there. To be in fact, both of them have to come out of there, because they're just going to grow into each other and keep growing that way. So that's just a short tidbit there. But yep, the farm's really coming along. It's January. We do have snow. We don't have a lot of snow, but we have snow. We should have a lot of snow, so it's quite mild this year in Michigan. So we'll see. And like I said, these are still doing good out here. Everything's doing good. I've looked over the stalks of those trees, and I see that there is. I look down underneath. I'm doing good. No mice or nothing has chewed on them. So we're still doing good. So, and as I always say, we got a lot of work out there to do, but it'll get done. So just a short video. It's not really short anymore. I see I got my 17 minutes, but I'll edit some of it and shorten it up for you guys. But that's just a little informational on what's going on, and enjoying every minute of it. So there's Mr. and Mrs. Cherry Lover, and they're keeping an eye on the farm. So anyways, that's what's going on here, folks. I hope you enjoy the information, and if you get a chance and you like and you're a first-time subscriber, throw that like, hit the button, thumbs up to me, and subscribe. Some of the stuff is about the farm. Most of it's going to be about the farm, not all of it. Like I said, in the wintertime, the farm sleeps a lot. It's dormant. I don't have a lot of content about the farm, so I put other things on. So during the wintertime, it will not be about the farm. It'll be about a lot of things that I've been putting on. And then come spring, all summer and all fall, it's all about the farm, because that's just what happens with being a cherry farmer or a fruit farmer. You got to pause in the winter, but there's still a lot of paperwork and a lot of planning. So this is what's going on. Of course, you guys all know, if you've been following along, there's another high tunnel coming next year. Hopefully if the government opens back up and approves me for another high tunnel. We'll see. So, all right, as I say always, have a good day, folks. I intend to. Goodbye now.